And before beginning, I would love to hear from you if you are seeking financial advice or have questions. I've put together a very short Google form survey, the link is in the description, and I'm really interested to hear what your single most important financial advice question is. I have some fantastic quotes for you folks today from Warren Buffett, the man who needs no introduction. Buffett's returns while managing his reinsurance conglomerate Berkshire Hathaway are nothing short of astounding. Buffett takes his celebrity status to the stage once a year for the famed Berkshire Hathaway annual shareholders meeting. Most of the quotes I present today are taken from extra special moments within that shareholder meeting. I'm going to start with maybe the best known Buffett quote. He advises, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful." And if that quote wasn't the most famous, then this next one must be. Buffett gives his 2 rules of investing. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. Buffett has a very interesting outlook on work, encouraging thoughtfulness and reflection. I insist on a lot of time being spent almost every day to just sit and think. That is very uncommon in American business. I read and think, so I do more reading and thinking and make less impulse decisions than most people in business. I do it because I like this kind of life. I find this next quote a little counterintuitive and deserving of careful thought. The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. Buffett has elaborated on this thought at a different time. You've got to keep control of your time, and you can't unless you say no. You can't let people set your agenda in your life. This next quote is advice that I think is pretty hard to learn and see on one's own. There seems to be some perverse human characteristic that likes to make easy things difficult. Buffett perhaps indirectly offers more color on his previous line when he says, "Should you find yourself in a chronically leaking boat, energy devoted to changing vessels is likely to be more productive than energy devoted to patching leaks." And I'll keep with the aquatic theme. I don't think this next quote was invented by Buffett, but it's still funny to hear him say it. You never know who's swimming naked until the tide goes out. And I'll follow that up with another comical quip. No matter how great the talent or efforts, some things just take time. You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. I love this advice from Buffett coming out of his normal realm of investing into management and human resources. In looking for people to hire, you look for 3 qualities: integrity, intelligence, and energy. And if they don't have the first, the other 2 will kill you. This life advice about honesty, integrity, and reputation is often easy to forget. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. I have another quote that I think was sourced or paraphrased by Buffett in the best kind of way. The most important thing to do if you find yourself in a hole is to stop digging. We all know Buffett comments on government. How about this for hard-edged legislation? I could end the deficit in 5 minutes. You just pass a law that says that anytime there's a deficit of more than 3% of GDP, all sitting members of Congress are ineligible for re-election. Back to Buffett on business, he shares one of his biggest secrets. I learned to go into business only with people whom I like, trust, and admire. And this quote can be kind of difficult to hear when we are in its situation. If you've been playing poker for half an hour and you still don't know who the patsy is, then you're the patsy. Buffett loves to appeal to the quality of an investor's life. He has an interesting truism. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. How about sizing one's bets? Buffett tells us to remember the size of the opportunity. Opportunities come infrequently. When it rains gold, put out the bucket, not the thimble. And some great career advice here. Although it may be hard to achieve, I think this advice is unique and difficult to refute. People always ask me where they should go to work, and I always tell them to go to work for whom they admire the most. How about this one? It's a little provoking when lifted out of any context. Every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. And I'll end this video with a quote about beginnings. Buffett explains, "What the wise do in the beginning, the fools do in the end." Thanks a lot for watching, and don't forget to fill out the survey in the description if you were after financial advice.